What do you think of Kamala Harris?
I think she is a politician.
Yeah.
And she's interested in the accumulation of power and control.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Do you think she believes in anything?
I think she believes in government, like most Marxists.
Yes.
Yes.
I think she is a Marxist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that she can win?
Absolutely. She can win. This is going to be a great test of the power of the media.
Yes.
To take someone who formerly was universally disliked and transform them into a godlike figure.
Yes.
And they will use everything that they have to try to do that. The question is, are the American people smart enough to see through it?
It's a great question, Ben.
And I actually think the American people are smarter than anybody gives them credit for. And I don't think that they are going to be willing to sacrifice what we have in this country, which is what everybody else wants, even though they try to denigrate our country, say we're systemically racist, we're unfair to people. If we were all that bad, why are all these people trying to get in here? And why aren't people trying to get out of here? So we know that we have something that's very good. And I think the American people realize that, and they're not willing to give that up and trade that for something inferior.
God,
I
I hope that's right.
I want to
so
believe him.
want it to be right.
I want him to be right too. God, I love him so much. I want
know,
to
he's
believe
so
him
dear.
too. I mean, listen, I want to believe that about people, that they're smart enough and they can discern what's true and what's not true. But you know, there are a lot of people. I'm still like, I guess, sore from like the COVIDian times when there were people that I thought would act a certain way. And then they're the same people that I know that they would like tell on me, you know, for not wearing a mask or not getting the vax or whatever, you know what I mean? Those are, and I'm like, who are you? So I don't know. People surprise me, you guys. They never cease to surprise me.
Over on local, CT Taylor sent a tip saying, my millennial hairdresser told me yesterday she wants to vote, but she doesn't feel like she knows enough. So I told her, look at your grocery bill, look at your gas bill, look at your taxes. And she said that makes sense. They were better when Trump was president.
Yep.
That's really all she needs to know.
That's all she needs to know. Just ask people, were you better off 4 years ago? Like in your life? Are you better off now?
Mm-hmm.
Has this administration made your life better or worse? And then vote accordingly.
Right. Audrey Krause 5 says, I'm sick of this crap, this media brainwashing. Yeah.
That's what it is.
And Bearcat Nan says, if you're not seriously concerned about Kamala's ability to win, you are not paying attention. A ton of women who would not have voted for Biden will vote for Kamala.
It's true.
She's absolutely right.
I know.
Andrea Viola says, commies are in charge because Americans tolerate it. Who is coming to save you? Nobody. Mad? Look in the mirror. It's your fault the country is commie. Everybody's got to do their part. You can't just be a hairdresser that's like, well, I don't know enough. So good on CT Taylor's for saying you got to get in there. You got to make it. You got to have your voice heard. Yeah. CJ 8009 says, I can't stand Kamalto's face. She's acting like she already won. We need to pray and vote. Yup. Yeah. Julie Wolf says, they sure have been Johnny on the spot with these commercials and ads. How long have they been putting these in Dropbox? Good question. Nancy Champagne says, I just threw up in my mouth. Alexandra says, just to clarify, I had relatives cut me out of their lives because TDS just took over for them. But I've also talked to liberals who can't afford to vote based on emotions anymore. They see that I'm a human just like them, and it has opened their eyes. You keep talking and keep opening those eyes, Alexandra.
Yes, amen.
Karen Elliott says it's easier to make people feel than to make them think. That is definitely true. Aaron Powers says somebody needs to recut Kamala's videos with clips of the looting, rioting, peaceful protests, and other consequences of leftist policies. Andrea says the point of communism is the death it causes. Photo in the story says working class will decide this election, not the media. I hope that's true. I hope the working class, like hairdressers, aren't just sitting around thinking, well, I don't know anything, so I'm just going to stay at home. We need them to learn the things and feel empowered to vote. Duchalia says Kamala Floyd. And CJ says Hillary was very confident too. Let them be overconfident. We just have to keep grinding. And Andrea says from pee pads to knee pads, heels up Harris. Okay, that was a lot. Did I get everybody? No, I didn't. MS Shift 64 says, did you all see Scott Pressler's post where he writes on bills where he tipped and says Trump won't tax tips? A very simple and effective way to get to voters. It's not a bad idea.
Again, with the working class. Yeah.
Yeah. So by the way, Healthy Cell, if you haven't tried this product, this is their focus and recall product. This boosts your brain power and helps you stay productive. And it's just one of many of their gel packs that have all the things that you need to be your healthiest and most highly effective self. This has got all the good stuff. This takes up there's like 9 different pills worth of goodness in here to boost your focus and your recall. And then let me make sure I've got my glasses on. Jacqueline Schotter. She wrote to Healthy Cell directly and she said, my name is Jacqueline Schotter. All I wanted to say is, since I started using Healthy Cell, I feel 1,000 times better. And I just want to compliment the chicks on the right for recommending you guys because you've been fantastic. And my husband as well has been using it. And the doctors cannot believe his blood work or mine. So I just want to thank you, Healthy Cell, and the chicks on the right for recommending you.
I love that.
Isn't that the greatest?
I love that so much. That's legit, you guys. It's great stuff.
That's awesome.
I love it.
So if you haven't tried any of the products from Healthy Cell, you should. The Focus and Recall is amazing. It tastes yummy. They all do. And they all absorb 165% better into your body than taking tablets or pills or capsules or whatever. So try it. You're going to get 20% off your first order when you go to healthycell.com/chicks and use code check that out immediately. So I am not familiar with Anton Daniels, but now that I've seen this video, I am, and I want to know this man. What an unbelievable communicator. He's in a Zoom call with Black voters, and he's asking the crowd, if you're voting for Kamala, why are you voting for Kamala? And this first idiot admits it is totally about skin color. Mm-hmm. And man, does he ever teach her a thing or two.
Let me ask you a question. Would you vote for it?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm going to just be real honest with this. She's a Black woman.
Yeah.
Because they skin folk, not Kim folk.
I think it goes back to what somebody was saying, where it's not voting for someone, but majority will vote for somebody else
Hold on. Let me mind this out.
I think majority.
Is it only because she a Black woman?
Yeah.
Do you not see how that's a bad idea?
Elaborate.
Okay, so we're in 3 proxy wars with some of the most powerful leaders in the world. She failed at the border, in which we have an estimation of 15 to 20 million people illegally into this country. That is literally overtaking and bankrupting Chicago to the tune of over $400 million per year, and they are in a deficit. Oakland is going out of business. San Francisco, ditto. California, $65 billion deficit. New York, they're literally cutting trash, in which they are the rattiest, dirtiest city, and they've taken up resources as far as free healthcare, free hotels to the tune of $600 a day. They're literally taking over your schools. Your taxpayer dollars are going to fund the migrant crisis. She was supposed to be in charge of this. We have a failing economy. Every single day I see people getting on the internet talking about $30 an hour is the new minimum wage because inflation is fucking out of control. At one point, it was at almost 10%, depending on what city that you in. She has no policy, no record to stand on. One of the biggest things that she did in her career was lock up more Black men than ever before. But we sitting here and vote her in office on identity politics. The very person that she was under as far as the president of the United States of America, she called him racist during a debate, which shows you how fake she is. And the only thing that we can stand on from a policy perspective is whether or not she's Black and she's a woman. We did that during the Obama administration, and he didn't do anything for Black people. As a matter of fact, y'all complain because the only person that he did, or the only group of people that he really stood for, is the alphabet community, and that's his landmark thing that he's still standing on today. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that we have to stand on is identity politics. That shit didn't work with Tiffany Henyard in Dayton, Illinois. It didn't work with Karen Bass. It didn't work with Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. It didn't work with Brandon Johnson that then took over her position in Chicago. It didn't work with Andre Dickens in Atlanta. It didn't work with Eric Adams in New York. It doesn't work across the country. Every single Democratic city is a hellhole. And we
Preach
sitting
it.
here talking about identity politics.
I love him.
God, I absolutely adore that man. And she was like,
God, I
yeah.
hope that had an impact, because everybody else on that call was like, oh my God, when she said, I'm going to vote for her because she's a black
Mhm.
woman, at least
Yeah.
everybody else was like,
You're an idiot. You're a complete idiot. Yeah. Mhm.
So anyway, if
That
somebody
was
can find Anton Daniels, I
mhm.
would like to befriend him at once.
a beautiful thing. I'd love to have him on our show. What a beautiful, beautiful thing
Amazing.
that was. Mhm.
Mhm.